welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. We're playing Nick's today. There's Nick over there. Nick is bringing his Tau, and I am playing the new Militarum. No, getting the name wrong. What are they called? Astra Militarum. God dear, nearly got it wrong on the first bit.
Imperial.
So we're playing 2,000 points. We're just doing a basic game of Crusade and Dawn of War today. So in my Astra Militarum army, I am bringing. So if we go down here, I have taken Pask. He's that little dude sitting on top there. I haven't finished painting him yet. He's in a Punisher with loads of heavy bolters. What a shock. The other part of his squadron is here. It's an Eradicator with loads of heavy bolters as well. For troops, I have a large squad of 20 men in a platoon squad there. They have got 2 Psychers with them, both level 2. Both have taken Prescience. One has Scryer's Gaze and the other one has Misfortune. I've also got a Priest in there to give them loads of leadership. Then moving over here, over here is another 10-man platoon squad. They got an autocannon and grenade launcher. Forgot to say the other 2 squads also had autocannons and grenade launchers, and they're in there. I have 2 squads of veterans, one in this Chimera here, one in this Chimera here. Each is armed with 2 plasma guns and a heavy flamer. The Chimeras have heavy flamers and multi-lasers. Then we have a new Griffin hiding down here. I haven't painted it yet, so it's just black, so it's quite hard to see. Boss. Oh, Wyvern, well done. So that's the thing that fires strength 4, ignores cover, shredding, twin-linked shot, so it's pretty good. Over here we have a Basilisk, so that's going to be lobbing shots all out there and over to Nick's stuff there, killing it. Filling out the heavy support, we have another Lemon Rust. It may look like a looted Orc tank, but it's actually been recommissioned by the Imperial Guard. They just haven't managed to repaint it or take out the transport capacity from the back as yet. But it's a Lemon Rust Vanquisher, which is a really long-range Strength 8 armor-bane shot, and it's got a las cannon on the front of it as well. Anything else in my army? Oh, nearly forgot. I have a Knight Paladin, so that's the giant knight with a massive battle cannon on the front of it. Only the second time out with that. First time I played with it, it blew up very shortly after the start of the game, so we'll see how we do against Nick.
Right, and just before we go on to the Tau part, we forgot for the MP Guard. We've got a Vendetta down there with...
Platoon command squad with 4 flamers.
There we go. And there's just... He died turn 1 last time, didn't it?
No, turn 2.
Oh, turn 2. Turn 2. Oh, do turn 1 this time, we take out the whole points. The Tau army, we are actually being led by, not Dark Striker, it's actually going to be Commander Shadow Sun. I don't own the model yet.
The model's quite hard to find.
Yes. And she's with 3 battle suits this time. She's got her command link drone, and we've got the 2 shield drones as well, which we've got there at the front. The battle suits, 2 of them have got burst cannon, missile pod, and shield generator, and one of them has got the cyclonic ion blaster and a burst cannon, and it's got a shield generator. With her, there is a unit in the open there. Well, there would be halfway there. They're in a bit of cover. 6 stealth team with 2 marker drones. We have the Hammerhead, which has got the disruption pods. It's got the submissive round as well this time, and it's got long striker in. Shonk. Long striker goes in any Hammerhead arm. We've got a unit of 12 fire warriors there, obviously hiding behind the defence line. And then we've got Fire Blade with them as well for extra shots. Yep. We have got a Devilfish. Inside that Devilfish is another unit of 12 Fire Warriors. We've got in that building there, along there, the part which has got windows. It's got 6 Pathfinders. And ready to jump up to the top here and the bottom there, we've got 2 broadsides with the rail guns. We've got a Riptide, which has got twin-link fusion blasters, and I've got the heavy burst cannon on it this time. No tipped commander though, so I don't know. And in reserve, we've got the flyer. We've got the Razor Shark flyer to come on, and we've got 20 Crutes with a Crute Hound.
Nice.
Just for a bit of outflanking.
Before I cease initiative, let's quickly show objectives.
Oh, yeah, we've got 1 objective there in with the statue there. 1 objective just in front of the MP Guards there. There is 1 objective in between the dice tray there on the Sky Shield. There's 1 down here in front of Commander Shadow Sun, and there's 1 sitting over there between the MP Guards as well.
The way we play objectives, we deploy them before we know table sides, just so there's a more fun deployment of them.
Yeah, exactly, right.
So we're going to seal the initiative on a 6 and shoot Nick off the table before it gets started.
Or destroy your models. It's a 5.
Close.
But look at that, look at that. Look, it destroyed them all.
Already 2 dead Imperial guardsmen.
Just take them. Well, only 2. Oh, you may need to take more than that off.
But plenty more where they came from.
Let's see how turn 1 goes. Right, so this is the end of the Tau turn 1. Movement-wise, like the Riptide jumped out the front there. He had some shots. He jumped back in his turn. The Broadsides jumped up to the top of the building. And the Devilfish, very much they hid him behind the building. What they all shot at, well, the Pathfinders mark like the Chimera that's there, and then the Riptide had its 8 shots, and we glanced it to death, so it's wrecked, and the guys are out there.
Pretty good rolling, no cover saves for me. Wasn't good.
Yeah, so it was only just though with the 360s.
Yeah,
So it was good though. So the veteran squad are out of that one, and I get first blood.
There's the important bit.
The Broadsides had a they snapshotted at the Imperial Titan thing there. Obviously, twin linked. We missed with we hit all the hits, but didn't really expect to hit that well. The Fire Warrior squad here would only have killed a couple of. They're only in range of a couple of dudes at the front there, so they didn't shoot at them. So the quad gun fired over at the Chimera, and we've done a penetrating hit on it, and it's
can't move or fire.
Yeah, can't move or fire. So this time, which isn't bad. Long strike and his hammerhead. I was umming and ahhing because he could see the Lehman Russ, but obviously we've been destroying that one at the front there first. But instead, because the guard squad were actually still quite blobbed, I did the large blast marker, and I hit 7, but we killed 3 of them with that, which wasn't too bad. I'd say killed a couple of guard squad. The stealth team, they marker lighted the Impy guards as well. I completely forgot the rules of marker lights, that the stealth team can't use the marker lights off of them. So otherwise I may have fired beforehand and used them with long strike, but they still came in use anyway.
They killed loads. They killed 6.
The stealth team killed 6, and then that put the psycho dude there at the front of the thing, and then Shadow Sun. The only thing on her unit that could actually fire was the missile pods. So I had 4 shots with the missile pods. I used the marker lights with them to get rid of the cover save, and I killed another guardsman and one of the heavy weapons team because it instant death. Yes, which was lucky. So I didn't touch any of the things there, but they have jumped over here as well. They got a nice 14-inch movement on their jump, which was very good. That was it really for my turn. As I say, we have to see how turn 1 goes for the guardsmen. See how their shooting goes. Not looking forward to it.
So, Astra Militarum, turn 1. Over here, the knight advance, so he's not sitting in my line, so when Nick inevitably blows him up and it kills all my tanks. The 2 squadron tanks there kind of split up slightly, just keeping in their extra coherency range. And then 1 fired over there and killed a few fire warriors. This guy fired over there and killed a few of the stealth suits. It was quite handy. I used the split fire order. This squad down here spread out a bit and moved into some cover, but they're out of range of all their guns. Down here, one of the Psychers prescienced this squad, and then the Psyker left and joined the veterans inside the Chimera for a bit of added safety after Nick blitzed this squad last turn. And then this squad fired over and shot up the command squad of Commander Shadowsun. You can see Commander Shadowsun's squad is not there because I also combined fire. I fired all of these squad up here, but most importantly I fired the Basilisk there. I'd also missed Fortune Shadowsun's squad, so she was re-rolling all of her saves, as was the squad, and Nick just didn't roll very well for his saves, and I killed 3 of the battle suits with the Basilisk shot because it instant deathed them, so that was really game over for that squad, unfortunately for Nick. Moving back over here, the Knight Titan did 1 wound with its heavy stubbers. Nobody should say they're awful because they're pretty useful, up to the broadsides, and I managed to get a weapon destroyed on long strike. So we rolled randomly and saw what we destroyed, and it's lost its smart missile systems and can happily fire its giant rail gun. To try and deal with long strike, I also fired over my Vanquisher. He missed with his Vanquisher cannon, isn't it always the way, but he did manage to hit with his las cannon, but unfortunately Nick made his cover save due to his evil disruption pods. But overall a pretty good turn for me because I've eliminated Nick's Warlord and whittled down his squad that had moved forward that was annihilating my poor troops. So overall, pretty happy with the turn.
End of tower turn 2. Can I finish it there?
It weren't pretty, was it, Nick?
No.
Oh, the good bit. She did 1 whole point over here.
Yeah. Well, both my reserves come on. The flyers come on over there, and the crew come on this side. I originally rolled to come on over that side, but I did change plan and come over this side. Re-rolled, and I got I got to choose. So I come on over here. Fired 40 shots into that tank.
I think you hit about 25 times.
Yeah, and needed 6s after that. Only needed 3 6s. I got 1.
Yep.
And did 1 whole point to that. Not particularly pretty.
Oh, Nick, there was a good bit of your turn.
Oh yeah. I'll leave that bit till last.
Yeah, save the good bit.
The broadside. We got 1 marker light on the Lehman Russ from the 6 shots from the Pathfinders below them. We twin linked and failed to hit.
Yeah, so freeze rerolls. You're in the side arc.
Yeah.
Failed to do stuff.
I Nova charged. Well, I didn't do a wound. I haven't done a wound to my Riptide yet.
Oh yeah, that's
and I've Nova charged twice. This
you
time
haven't killed your own model yet.
No. This time I gave the burst cannon the extra shots and the Rendin to go against that. So 12 shots, Rendin. I did 1 invulnerable save though, so did nothing to there. The Devilfish has just moved out from behind the building because I fear that coming round and munching.
I'm going through, Nick.
The Fire Warriors have tried joining up, but only rolled a 3 for movement, so they failed. But still 1 dude there on the quad gun that fired into the veteran squad there, killed 2 from there. Silly sergeant standing on the wall. That's just a hint. Long Strike decided to have his shot at the tank guy there. Ooh, just hit my shelf behind me. I was hoping the broadsides would take this one out first. So if Long Strike had managed to pen, I could take out the Warlord.
Because he hits on 2s with a reroll, doesn't he?
Yeah, he hits on 2s with a reroll and rolled double 1. So I failed to hit there.
You killed quite a few dudes here.
Yeah, but we got the stealth team. They fired in, and did we kill any with the stealth team? I can't remember.
Yeah, you killed a couple with the stealth team.
Yeah,
and then
I killed
4.
Killed a load with the fire. Yeah, so down to only 4 people left in that troop squad. The good bit was like I said previously, the quad gun managed to take out the sergeant, and the Fire Warriors killed a couple. So they did a leadership check and they ran away. With no sergeant there, they failed their
luckily
leadership.
I rolled a 3 on my distance, so
so they didn't move very far. So hopefully they don't come back.
But the problem is on Tau turn 2 shooting when the good bit is breaking 6 guardsmen. It's not the best turn.
Yeah, I was hoping. Obviously, I didn't think I would do much by that. I was hoping to put a couple of whole points on there with the Riptide. But I was hoping I could take care of the 2 Lehman Russes this time.
Yeah, the Ignores actually, this one with the Ignores cover is more dangerous to you than Pask's Punisher because he's a bit out of range at the moment.
Yeah, but I was hoping to say if that one went, I could get with him. It's two dangers out of the way, and it's obviously it's the Warlord thing, and then I can worry about the ones which are over there. And if that one had gone, those 2 and that tank there were the three things
that really should have gone.
Yeah, they were the 3 that I wanted gone this turn, and none of it happened. It said just they ran away. So let's hope Impy Guard's turn 2 is just as bad, if not worse. I don't know how it can get worse, but let's hope.
We'll see. Imperial Guard turn 2. So if I had a good turn this turn, I think we'd have probably called the game in my favour because Nick had such a bad turn. Fortunately, you can still see that Nick is happily there. So over here, the Crute, this was the good part of the turn. I fired my, whatever that thing's called. What's this thing called, Nick?
Wyvern.
Wyvern, I can never remember that. I fired it
at
at the Crute, hit 12 of them, killed 12 of them. It really does murder troops. I moved forward with my 2 Lehman Russes. This one with Paskin managed to shoot underneath at Long Strike's thing there. I got a penetrating hit through. Nick had cunningly brought through his daughter to roll his dice for him. This didn't bode well for me.
This dice, though.
Well, Nick made the first of many saves this turn, so 1 penetrating hit saved. The Eradicator murdered 4 more of the Fire Warriors, but the other 2 made their saves. The Knight moved around the side, we'll deal with him in a moment. Down here, these guys have made their leadership to get back in the fight, and the Psycho has gone and joined them. The other Psycho has been joined by the Priest in that Chimera with the other veterans, and these 2 are just sitting there hoping they don't get killed. Combined fire from these and this squad over here did nothing to those stealth team, they just sat there. I fired my Vanquisher over at Long Strike, got a nice penetrating hit through. Nick made another 4-up save. I fired the Basilisk over at it, got another penetrating hit through. Nick made a 4-up save. I fired the Night Titan over at it, got 2 penetrating hits through. Nick made 2 4-up saves. You can see the pattern of the turn. Over here, my Vendetta came on. Nick managed to shoot it once with his quad gun.
I didn't shoot that.
Leah shot it once with a quad gun. Managed to cause it to have to snap fire this turn. I still managed to hit his flyer once, but Nick then made his jinx save.
No. The daughter made
the daughter made the jinx save. She was really good at rolling dice. I may hire her out. Over there, I fired the Chimera and all its innards at the stealth team as well. Failed to hurt them. Over here, the knight had split fire because he's a super heavy, and he had fired at the Riptide, so I could charge that if I wanted. The Pathfinders, so I could charge those, and it also obviously shot over at long strike. I decided to charge the Pathfinders to take out the Markolites. Unfortunately, Nick had ion charged his Riptide last turn, and it managed to get a penetrating hit through with the combined fire Overwatch. And Leah then rolled a 6 to pen, and then did 3 hull points to it when it blew up. But obviously it didn't blow up because it's a super heavy, but it takes extra hull points. But then I got in combat with the Pathfinders. I only killed one. I chose not to stomp, hoping to remain in combat. But then Nick failed his leadership, only ran back about 4 inches. And so he's there happily going to open fire on my poor Titan this turn. So overall, that was pretty poor.
Towel free, and my daughter has abandoned me. Damn her. A 2-year-old attention span is not long enough for a game of 40k.
Not yet. Give her a year.
Right, what happened? We attempted to fire a Markolite off at the Chimera there, so that the flyer could hurt it. 4 shots, hit once, we penned and stopped it from shooting next turn.
Yep.
So it's got two hull points done on there. The crew, we didn't do it last time, but they did actually run away from there, and they've come back rallied. They had a couple of shots at them, but we didn't kill any.
Yep.
That lot. We have moved. The Devilfish is coming over this way now. He's sort of teamed up with Longstrike, who I really can't roll for hammerheads.
You can roll cover saves on them.
Oh yeah. We shot again at the Lima Rasta Warlord down there. We hit it this time at least. I rolled a 4 first time, so I only did a glance, and obviously a glance isn't good enough at this point, so I re-rolled and missed completely.
So no penning for you.
No damage, so we needed the pen. We fired. We got 1 Markolite onto the Night thing here, so we fired the Riptide, who failed his Nova charge and did himself a wound.
The first of many. Well, 5. Hopefully.
Yeah. We fired 8 shots. Didn't do nothing. We fired the broadsides. We we basically failed to do any more wounds to it, which was a shame. That's what I was hoping to do them. I did them last just in case I blew it up. And
you kind of made it so now I charge, you get lots of...
Yes. Now if he charges, whatever he charges, the broadsides, the quad gun, and the Riptide can all fire at it. Because what we did forget about last time was this has got fusion blasters. It's got a melter weapon, which is why it fired at it.
Out of half range, so it's not brilliant, but it's certainly worth doing.
No, but it'll be within half range when he charges.
Yep.
Right, let's see how turn 3 goes for the Imperial Guard, because that's all I'm going to call him.
Good choice. So it is end of Imperial Guard. Sorry, Astra Militarum. I'm gonna remember that. I'm not gonna call them Imperial Guard. So it's end of our turn 3. So on this turn, the Wyvern, get in over here, fired at the Kroot, and this thing was built to kill Kroot. I mean, it's twin link to hit them. It then gets a reroll to wound them. It ignores their cover, ignores their armor. Just murdered them. So it murdered another 8 of those, and I mopped them up with shooting down here. So that's one of Nick's troop choices out of the game. We then fired our 2 giant big tanks here. The Punisher with Paskin fired up at the flyer. I managed to get 2 pens through. It's now immobilized, so it's locked velocity, and it can't fire any of its guns, so it's going to have to fly off next turn. We fired this tank with all its heavy bolters and such up at the broadside. Unfortunately, failed to get any wounds through their armor. Over here, the Vendetta moved sideways. I forgot to fire my Vendetta, Nick, but not particularly important. The Vanquisher finally did what he was brought to do, and he blew the gun off of Longstrike's tank, meaning it's pretty pointless. Over here, the Veterans got out the Chimera, and they murdered the 3 dudes left there. I fired the Basilisk of the Battle Cannon from the Knight, and a couple of other things over hitting both of these tanks, but I failed to get through the cover saves and deal them any damage. But that's really Nick's last remaining troop choices in that tank. So then we move on to the important part of the turn. Good old Knight over there. His name is Bryant, it's painted on him. He moved in, he managed to kill one of the Markolite people, just to reduce the shots against him from Overwatch, and Nick flubbed all of his combined fire Overwatch rolls, so I managed to get into combat with the Riptide. We use slightly different D-weapon rules. It basically forces him to re-roll invulnerable instead of ignoring, and always does D3 damage. So we managed to get through. I only got one hit through, and he only took 1 damage from it, leaving him on 3 wounds. He failed to hurt me back with his smash, and then I stomped him. Instead of removing a model when we roll a 6, we do another D-weapon hit, and I rolled a 6 and did a D-weapon hit, got it through, and did it another 3 wounds, so the Riptide's gone. Nick doesn't really have anything left now that can hurt the knight, and I've got so much more firepower left on the table that we're going to call it an end to the game there with the Imperial Guard winning, because I've still got loads of troops, and Nick's really only got 1 troop at the back there, which is going to struggle to get away from the knight. So, overall, Nick, what do you think the game worked like?
Game worked fine.
As usual, your luck was not brilliant. You cannot kill anything with long strike.
No. Cannot kill anything with long strike. Obviously, did a bold move, didn't pay out for Shadow Sun.
Yeah, moving forward, I was a little sceptical when you moved forward with both those squads. I didn't think they were hard enough because I wasn't in range of the rest of your army. I just turned my army on them and wiped it out.
Well, the stealth team, I generally see them there as being they can put out a lot of fire.
Oh, the stealth team did a really good job. They murdered my big squad.
Yeah, no, I like them. And yeah, Shadow Sun. I was hoping on the invulnerable saves.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
I think it was I cast Misfortune, didn't I?
Yeah, it was the making me reroll. And
4s and 3s re-rolling. You just failed a load of them and they went.
Yeah. So I mean, if
Leah's giving me a little dude. What have I got?
You're getting a Pathfinder.
Oh, thank you, Leah. I've been given a Pathfinder. I shall eat it.
So, obviously, if Shadow Sun was in, I was hoping Shadow Sun to try and take care of tanks. Thank you. Yeah, it's a Pathfinder. To take care of a couple of the tanks over there, the big tanks and that, which I was hoping for. Fire did well.
Yeah, fire was good. It was moving around and shooting stuff.
Yeah.
And it was because it's got the turret on the back, similar to the Space Marine little flyer.
Yeah.
It can always get in good positions for shots.
Just 1 minute. You have some dice in a minute.
As far as Impy Guard went, I loved the Wyvern. I thought it was really good.
Wyvern was really good. I'm not sure if I take the Basilisk or it did really well, but
it had 1 good shot and then 2 mediocre ones. I like the Basilisk because it can deal with different targets.
Yeah.
So I quite like the pair of them. I liked the 2 tanks with the commander in because I always kept the other one in front, which that only costs like 120 points, whereas Pask's one costs 230. But I was also protecting it with the other one in front, meaning he shot that one first, so that was really helpful.
Yeah, if Long Striker could have only got 1 shot through.
The 2 Psychers I'd taken were awesome. They were just twin linking everything every turn. It's just
twin linking Misfortune.
Obviously good. And the Knight, he was boss.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have a huge amount of really powerful anti-tank.
No,
you had lots of medium strength.
I had nothing to sort of that can really get through so much.
That's it. You only really got 1 shot through, and that did him half his whole point. So a couple of extra melter, possibly if Shadows, because you set up first, I deliberately put him as far away from Shadow Sun as possible because I knew she was a proper threat to him. But overall, good game, and good old Knight actually did something this game. He didn't blow up. We're off to have a game of X-Wing after we tidy up. Speak to you next time.